Welcome to Gamebox. Please subscribe.
G'day guys! Are you ready to hear a story? You are! Fabulous! This story is called The Midnight Princess, and it was written by me, Jess Judd. A long time ago, in a kingdom far, far away, there once lived a little princess named Mindy. Mindy spent long days in princess school, learning all of the important things she needed to learn to take over her father's kingdom one day. After princess school, Mindy would go and play outside with her puppy dog Gerald, or ride her horse, or any number of other things. Her days were sometimes tough, but always full of fun and laughter. But then there were the nights. Poor Princess Mindy hated nighttime. She didn't feel frightened. She was a princess, and princesses were very brave. No, Mindy just couldn't sleep. Every night she would be awake until at least midnight, when her body finally drifted off to sleep. It got so bad that everyone living in the castle started to call her the Midnight Princess. Princess Mindy would wake up every morning at 7 a.m. sharp. She would have her breakfast, sometimes a ham and cheese croissant, or sometimes a poached egg on toast, and then head to school. Mindy enjoyed school, although sometimes it made her brain hurt, especially when she didn't get much sleep the night before. Sleep is very important for our bodies, her teacher would tell her. Sleep is the time for your body to rest and prepare itself for the coming day. It also gives your brain a chance to sort through all the things it has learnt during the day. Sorting and storing information, replacing chemicals in your body, and fixing things that need fixing. Most children should be getting between 10 to 12 hours of sleep every night, Princess. Much more than what you are currently getting. I know, Princess Mindy said with a sigh. I just can't do anything to fix it. I have so much trouble getting to sleep. One day, Mindy received a note from the princes and princesses from Castle Johnson. Their wizard had heard of the Midnight Princess's problem and wanted to try and help. He had put together a magic sleepy potion for her. The princess just needed to apply the magic sleepy potion just before bed, and it should help her doze off. Princess Mindy suddenly felt excited to go to bed. She finished at school, then spent the afternoon riding her horse. She had her dinner, ravioli cooked especially for her by the castle chef, and then had a bath and listened to the king read her a bedtime story. After the story, the queen helped her put the lovely smelling oils of the magic sleepy potion on. She massaged it into her feet and her shoulders. Then Mindy's mother kissed her goodnight and left the room. Mindy lay there, smelling the delicious smells of the magic sleepy potion, but she didn't feel sleepy at all. Mindy tossed and turned, trying desperately to fall asleep, but she just couldn't seem to do it. I guess I'm immune to the magic sleepy potion, the Midnight Princess thought sadly. The next day, Mindy was surprised by another note from another royal family. This time it came from the princes and princesses at Hepburn Castle, who suggested the Midnight Princess should try running around for an hour before bed, then having a lavender bath and lighting some candles before bed. Mindy felt hopeful. Surely trying 3 different things would help her fall asleep. When she had finished princess school for the day, Mindy went up to read a book for a little while. Then she had dinner of meatballs and tomato sauce. After dinner, Mindy went running around outside for an hour. She jumped over plants in the garden and swung on branches down by the stream, and she even balanced along the wooden fence next to the stable. After all the time running and playing, Mindy felt dirty and sweaty. She went up into the castle and had a nice, long, lavender-scented bath. After her bath, the king helped her light some candles in safe places in her bedroom. He told her a story while they sat watching the candles flickering. After a little while, her father blew out the candles and kissed Mindy goodnight and left the room. Mindy closed her eyes, trying to force herself to fall asleep, but it just didn't work. She still couldn't sleep. The next day brought the weekend with it, meaning no princess school. Instead, the Queen invited 2 of Mindy's closest friends to come for a sleepover. The Queen hoped the princesses would have so much fun running around during the day they would all fall asleep quickly at bedtime. The 3 princesses spent the morning making chocolate raspberry puddings with the castle chef and playing dress-ups in the Queen's closet. She had so many beautiful things to dress up in. The princesses went horse riding in the afternoon and then helped the chef make pizza for dinner. Just before bed, Princess Raph suddenly said, "Oh, Mindy, I just remembered I brought something for you. I used to have trouble sleeping, but then my mother got me a hot water bottle. Whenever I snuggled up with it in bed, it always helped me drift off to sleep." "You could also try having some warm milk before bed," suggested Princess Mia. "I do it sometimes when I have trouble sleeping, and it always helps me." Mindy thanked her friends. They went down to the kitchen to ask the chef for some warm milk and filled up the hot water bottle. The little princesses all snuggled down in their beds, and Mia and Raph went right off to sleep. But poor Princess Mindy lay there listening to their deep breathing and just couldn't fall asleep herself. "I'll be the Midnight Princess forever," she thought to herself, hugging the hot water bottle tightly. The next day, Princess Mindy felt very cranky. She hadn't had a good night's sleep for as long as she could remember. Everyone in the kingdom kept sending ideas and nothing worked. Would she ever have a good night's sleep again? Would she always be the Midnight Princess? Mindy didn't finish her scrambled eggs and even snapped at the gardener. She behaved so badly, everyone in the castle spent the rest of the day avoiding her. Mindy wandered around the castle, looking for someone to talk to, but she couldn't find anyone. "Fine," she thought to herself. "If no one wants to spend time with me, then Gerald and I will just leave." Mindy gathered up her pup and headed out to the stables to saddle her horse. But when she got there, she found the stable boy sleeping in the hay. Mindy couldn't believe it. First, everyone avoided her, and now the stable boy was rubbing it in by sleeping right in front of her. "Hey!" she shouted, kicking his feet to wake him up. "What do you think you're doing?" "Huh? What?" the stable boy muttered sleepily, rubbing his eyes. "Why are you kicking me?" "How dare you sleep in front of me?" Mindy said, furious. The stable boy looked at her. "I'm sorry, Princess, but I felt tired," he said, shrugging. Suddenly, Mindy didn't feel angry anymore. She just felt sad. She plopped herself down on the hay next to the stable boy. "Oh, it's fine. I shouldn't really be angry with you. I'm just jealous," she said. "Why jealous?" the boy asked. "Don't you know who I am?" Mindy said. "I'm the Midnight Princess. Everyone knows I can't sleep. I'm always awake until after midnight every night. I have tried everything I can think of just to get to sleep, and nothing works." The stable boy looked at her and smiled. "Did you ever try not trying?" he asked. Mindy rolled her eyes at him. "What do you mean not trying?" she said. "That sounds silly." "Come on, Princess. You can't say it's silly before you try it. Tonight, when you go to bed, try to think of something other than sleeping. Then tomorrow, if it doesn't work, you can come and tell me how silly I am." Mindy looked at him for a moment. "What should I think about?" she asked. "Anything at all, except sleeping. Think about the things you'll learn the next day at school, or think about the next trails you'd like to ride your horse on. Maybe think up a story in your head. Just think about anything except sleeping and see what happens," the boy said. "I'll try," Mindy said, "but nothing has worked so far, and I doubt this will either." So that night, Mindy had dinner, had a bath, listened to the king tell her bedtime story, kissed the queen goodnight, and lay in bed. At first, she scrunched up her eyes and tried to force herself to sleep. But then she remembered what the stable boy had said. She relaxed her face, rolled over, and began thinking about the time she went to the beach with her parents. She imagined herself dipping below the waves and sinking into the ocean. She imagined all of the different sea creatures she would see in the depths of the ocean. She lay there, quiet and contemplative, and slowly drifted off to sleep. When the king and queen poked their heads in 20 minutes later to see if she needed some warm milk or another story, they couldn't believe their eyes. Their little midnight princess was actually sleeping, and it was only just after 8 o'clock. They carefully shut her door again and did a quiet little celebration dance in the middle of the hall. For the first time in weeks, everyone in the castle had an early night, and everyone slept peacefully. The Midnight Princess finally had a good night's sleep. Well, I hope you enjoyed that story, guys. We have a huge thanks to send out to Benjamin from Berlin. Benjamin is 7 and he is German, American and Turkish, and he's lived in India for more than half his life and has friends and family all over the world. He says he loves our stories, and in times of COVID, we help him feel relaxed and happy in the evenings. Benjamin loves all the stories, but his favourites are the Buffy Bunny stories. Thanks for your review, Benjamin. We'd also like to say thanks to Grace, Oliver and Lily from Australia, Ethan from New Zealand, Emma, James and Max from Australia, Jude, who is also from Australia, Jacob from New Zealand, Beckett from the USA, Silas, also from the USA, Madeline from the UK, Elise from Australia, Eddie and Charlie from Christchurch in New Zealand, and Layla from the USA. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you next time.